Hey there friends, Martin here, and as you may know, for the last many months, I've been working on my animated project Heroes of Bronze, which is set in the period of Greco-Persian Wars, and I've been exploring and honing this animation style, which is still very new and exciting to me. Learning something from the ground up like this has really been a blessing for me. It gave me a huge creative boost, and I would recommend it to anybody, especially these days, where the focus is more on automation and less on mastering a skill. It also taught me a lot, lots of little and big tips and discoveries about myself and art, which I would love to share with you as I go along this journey. Most importantly, it reminded me of how consistency and regularity in your work is important. If you're building a big project, in my experience, it just doesn't do to rush it. It needs time, days and months, sometimes years, to get on this amazing creative journey and stay on it. I think one of the best tips I've ever given is to dedicate at least a tiny portion of your day to such a project and really keep it up, making it regular. It doesn't have to be much, just 30 or 15 minutes or even less. Make an asset, put a few brush strokes on the canvas, plan a shot, and generally get into the habit of working on it on a regular basis. Over the years, this effort compounds, and then you can create amazing things. The same can be applied to learning new skills. For a while, I've been experimenting with various AI tools that could potentially help me with the parts of the process that I wasn't good at or that took me a long time. And honestly, that experimentation left me empty and feeling like a fraud, like I was constantly cheating. It was only when I decided to actually learn about those areas that I got my creative energy back. Lately, I've been learning a lot of keyframe animation, and the process is one of the most enjoyable things I've done in a long time. I've also learned to divide my process into two parts, what I call the tinkering phase and then the actual production phase. In the first one, I like to learn as much as I can, experimenting with tools, learning new software and discovering new add-ons. This phase has the potential to transform how you work and solve a lot of problems you don't have time to focus on during the production. However, it can also send you into an endless loop of trying to discover the next best tool, buying the next cool add-on, and never actually doing the work. So at some point, when I decide to start working on a project for real, with a set deadline, I like to lock my pipeline, sit down and actually just work on it with the tools I know, instead of constantly tinkering with stuff that could potentially break this pipeline. Really, this two-phased process saved me countless times. When in the tinkering stage, however, I love to go crazy and experiment with shots I would otherwise not be courageous enough to try. For example, lately I've successfully learned how to use this procedural crowds add-on for my needs, creating a library of ancient Greek and Persian characters to build my armies with. So cool, and something that I've already put into my pipeline, feeling confident enough to make it part of my current production. Also, when I do tinker with new tools, I like to put all those experiments into the actual shots, and if they're good enough, I like to post them on my Instagram. This way, no good footage is lost, and it actually helps me reconnect to the fans of the project. Oh, and by the way, this year I will be releasing two big projects I've been working on in secret. One of them is a huge course covering this new stylized style, where I go over how I achieve it in Blender. So if you want to get notified when it hits, definitely go to my Patreon page and there become a free subscriber to get the regular newsletter. Alright, with that, I'm off to learn a bit more about stylized animation, and I hope this video inspired you, and if it did, please hit the little alarm clock button down there. It seems like subscribers rarely see my videos these days. See you soon, my friends. Martin out.